The freeze-dried vegetables because I can make a soup really, really quickly by throwing carrots and celery and spinach into the soup without having to chop it all up. It's already chopped and already good. The nutritional value is the same. It makes it easier to cook, which is really nice. This, once again, in fact, let me get out. I want to show you what it looks like dried. Yeah. Now, your price lists do have number 10 cans. There are a few things on there that are in a pouch, and they are different.
Is that what a pouch is considered? It's like a bag like that?
This actually has a freeze-dried chicken in it. I will also show you a TVP chicken.
So Shelf Reliance to sell pouches too if I want to go for a small trip?
They do, yes. You can buy, and that's on your price sheet as well, some of the small pouches.
It's okay to taste it?
You know, you could. I like it rehydrated, but this actually isn't a TVP. This is a freeze-dried.
Okay.
Oh, so this is real chicken?
Mm-hmm. So that, I showed you first the sample, and I'm hoping I'm not confusing you. I showed you first the sample of the freeze-dried. So the freeze-dried is a freeze-dried chicken. It does have a longer shelf life. We've established freeze-dried has a longer shelf life. It is a little bit more costly, but you do have the option TVP. One of the things I would recommend is mixing the two. Or, as you're making tacos with regular ground beef, grab your TVP taco and mix that in with it, so that you're mixing those things in together. It does have the TVP does have a lower fat content. Is that right, Back Row Joe's?
Yeah.
Okay. This is actually TVP chicken. So a little bit different look to it, a little bit different texture.
So this is TVP here.
Yes, so what you have on your crackers is TVP. Now, I will admit, I did a little bit of a trick on my mother-in-law one time.
I'm coming.
She had tasted the freeze-dried chicken salad and was raving about how it tasted really great.
I like it both.
Then she came to another event and she tasted chicken salad and said it tasted really great. And then I admitted that it was TVP, not the freeze-dried. And before that, she'd said, I hate TVP, it's awful. And then she tasted it, and I probably told her about mid-bite before she realized that it really was TVP. And it actually did still tastes really good. But it's come a long way. If you remember TVP from ages ago, it is a way of storing meat. It is a way of adding those proteins into your diet by adding the TVP. It's a cost-effective way to do it. And obviously, if you're mixing it with foods that you're already making, already cooking, kind of slides under the radar and you wouldn't even notice it's there. This is one of my favorite appetizers now. I think the chicken salad tastes really, really good. A little bit of celery and onion. A little salt and pepper, and I think
What we're eating now is the TVP.
What you're eating now is the TVP, not the freeze-dried. You do have the option. You have either option. I would recommend trying both, seeing what you like. Okay, next on your questionnaire says, how do I reconstitute freeze-dried food? I kind of covered that a little bit.
Water?
Water. Exactly. You can boil water and add the chicken salad into it. You can add onions and celery, and it will reconstitute. I made soup last night. It's a meatball soup, and I had boiled chicken broth, threw in some carrots and some spinach. It rehydrates and tastes really good. The carrots are actually firm. They don't get soggy, and the soup tasted fabulous. If you're going to do a smoothie or you want to rehydrate your fruits, you can rehydrate them in water, or you can add apple juice, whatever you want to do that again. And it soaks for a few minutes, and you're ready to go. I actually will have us just rehydrate some corn, so that you can taste it. I'd like you to taste it dry, which I think is really good. And then you can taste it rehydrated as well. Lisa, would you mind doing that for me? Oh, you know what? I think I have a whole can over here. I already opened. We can use that. There we go. Will you just rehydrate a little bit of that? And then,
Do you want it in hot water or cold water?
let's do it in hot.
Okay.
How did the granola taste, by the way? And how about chicken salad? Any feedback on that? Good stuff, huh? I'm surprised, I will be honest. I looked at freeze-dried and thought, it looks a little bit odd to me, but it tastes great. We've been very happy and very pleased with the way that it tastes.
I could have eaten that food every day.
My neighbor said he went on the pineapple diet. He started snacking on freeze-dried pineapple and claims he lost 5 pounds. I believe him. I think it's worth a try. Why not?
Yeah.
I actually like the freeze dried a little bit better.
Yeah, on the chicken salad.
I like them both, but I like the freeze dried
A little bit better. Well, you know, it costs a little more, so that would be my taste typically too.
Would you mix the two together?
I think we should try that.
Okay. Why not?
You recommend that?
Yeah. Okay. I keep asking. Question number 8 is what will keep longer, wheat or strawberries?
Yeah, but I
This always is a trick question.
I know
what
it
people
is.
say.
What
Is this
is-
a trick question?
It is because it's a fresh strawberry. You asked me.
Okay, freeze-dried strawberries.
I think Jabos is saying because they say wait about 30 years or more, and I'm thinking in Utah the freeze dries go for 30 years too. So it's pretty.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty close.
Wheat typically wins out. Wheat is like the food that stores
Yeah.
forever. My husband said it was found in the catacombs of Egypt or something.
Pyramids.
The pyramids, whatever that.
How about
Anyway,
Egypt?
so wheat is the. But again, you need to be storing what you eat, and you need to be eating what you store. So if you're not using wheat and you're not used to using wheat in your diet, wheat's probably not your best choice for what you want to be storing. I make a mean wheat bread. I'll have a sign-up sheet later. You can sign up and come to one of my classes.
Corn.
This is the corn just as is, not rehydrated, just plain. And I want to see your reaction on this one too. Oh, this is a great story about the corn. So we started opening all these cans of food, and my kids would say, "Is this food storage?" Yes, and we'd eat, and everybody would be fine. Well, my daughter decided for lunch one day, I said, "Go pick out what fruit you want, put it in a baggie in your lunch," and she grabbed corn. And then she told her friends at school that her mom makes her eat chicken feed. She was instructed to go tell her friends that her mom's not made her eat chicken feed, go taste it. So then she started sharing the corn with her friends, and then it became the cool food. And now she says, all the moms want to talk to you about chicken feed because now all the kids are eating corn as their snack at lunchtime. But I like it just like that. I think it tastes great. It's very easy to rehydrate. As I'm cooking dinner and want to add a vegetable into dinner, it's very easy to boil a little bit of water, throw some beans or some corn into the pot, let it rehydrate while I'm making the other stuff, and then we serve it with dinner. It tastes phenomenal. Their green beans are out of this world. I didn't bring any tonight. If that's something that you'd like to taste, on the very top of your customer order form, check that box that says book a party, and we'll make sure that we do beans at your party so that you can taste those and share those with some of your friends as well. They really are good. Okay, number 9, why is freeze-dried more expensive than dehydrated? Because if you look at your price sheet, you'll see, look at pineapple, then look at pineapple chunks, the freeze-dried pineapple. One is more expensive. Any idea why?
Because the process, the technology is done.
Exactly. You're probably used to dehydrated fruits. That's something that you're probably used to eating quite a bit. Freeze-dried may be something that's a little bit newer, something that you haven't tasted as much. Maybe you've had Special K with strawberries and it has freeze-dried strawberries in it, or you tasted it in that way, but maybe not as many ways. One of the reasons for that is it is a newer technology. With freeze-dried, they drop the temperature way down, suck the moisture out, and it freezes, so to speak, that fruit at exactly where it's at. So the nutrients are all there, the taste is all there, the flavor is still good. It's I think, the perfect way to store fruits and vegetables because the flavor and the taste is still good, and you're still getting all the nutritional value out of it. So it does cost a little bit more because of that process, but it also has a 25-year shelf life versus an 8. If you think of how many cans, if you've gotten into food storage before and you've started storing, think of how many cans of food you've had to throw away before, or probably need to be thrown away. It's probably a lot. We typically store and then maybe we don't eat it as much as we thought we would. Or the best buy date on the end is long gone. Or we bought it maybe closer to that date than we thought we did. If you compare the cost of buying a can of freeze-dried corn and you're using what you're eating, so you're not using up the whole, you're not opening a can and only eating half of it, you're going to actually be consuming, it's actually going to save you money. Drops your cost way, way down because you're actually consuming it. You're actually eating it before the date is gone bad on it. So it does save you money in the long run as well. Plus, I think the taste is better. Their green beans are better than any canned green beans I've ever eaten. For sure on the corn, too. Okay, we are going to make a cornbread. While we're in the process of that, I'm going to turn, again, make my hostess work. Earn her keep over here. I've got everything out. Most of it is pre-measured, ready to go over there. I want to show you how to take the foods that you're storing, combine them together to make some really phenomenal food. Now, mind you, I will warn you ahead of time, this cornbread, so far, I have yet to have anybody tell me that they've tasted better, and I mean it's better than Marie Callender's. We are going to use a butter powder, which I think seals the deal. We're also going to use cornmeal, an egg powder, powdered milk. We've got the whole gamut of food, and we've got a recipe I'll hand out to you, but I'm going to get her started on that so it's warm and ready for us to taste. The other rule on the cornbread when it's ready is I make you taste it before you put any kind of honey butter on it. I've had people most of the time pass up the honey butter afterwards because it really does taste good just as it is. Okay, number 11. How many professional chefs has Shelf Reliance hired? Anyone? 2. They've got 2. Kelsey Nixon, who was on the Next Food Network star, adorable, cute blonde, and Natalie Riley, who's in Australia. The 2 of them are working on recipes all the time. You can go to shelfreliance.com and look up over 100 recipes. There is a recipe on there, I will tell you right now, for spinach and artichoke dip that's to die for. It's really, really good. The recipes that we're doing tonight are also on there, so you can go online and pull up all those recipes. The other great thing is you can type in freeze-dried spinach, and it will pull up recipes for you. So it's kind of an online cookbook, but they're also working on, for us old school that like the turn-the-page kind of cookbooks, they're also working on a cookbook right now that will all have great recipes all using food storage kinds of foods. Hopefully by now you're already thinking that the food storage is great to store, but it shouldn't just be stored in the basement. It needs to be up in your pantry. It tastes good. You'll want to use it. You'll want to be used to using it. I think if we think of food storage as something for a crisis or an emergency, I want the foods I'm used to eating. I want the things I'm used to making. I don't want to have to try to reinvent the wheel if there were some kind of a crisis. Now, mind you, it may not be big calamity. It may be losing a job, or there's something at your house that in your own life makes things harder. And food storage is something that you would want to have there to rely on. I don't know if anybody's ever tried to live off of their food storage. If we even try a trial run for a couple days, I realize really quickly what I'm short on or what I don't have enough of. So make sure you look through. We've got a bunch of different food groups. We'll go over that a little bit better as well. But there's a lot of great foods that you should implement into what you're used to using and storing. So it's something you're eating, not just storing. Okay, now number 12, why does Shelf Reliance coat our number 10 cans? Anybody even know what that might refer to?
To protect the food inside when they put the extra coat in there.
Exactly. There's all of our cans, number 10 cans, all of them have a coating. You'll notice if you look inside the can, it's pretty gold color. The reason for that is that it protects the food, keeps the food safe. We actually can store brown sugar because we have it in a coated can. If you've bought brown sugar, it's pretty hard to store, especially hard to store in a can. It goes hard, or it can rust the can because of the moisture in it. So that's the way that we can store it, is by coating those cans. You don't get the same reaction that you would as if you just bought a regular tin can to store food in.
Chemical reaction.
That. Okay, I mentioned this, but I'd like to go over it a little bit further. Shelf Reliance has introduced Thrive Foods, as we've been talking about tonight. Let me pass those out so you can each take one. There are 6 different food groups. I'm a girl. I like when the colors look pretty. I love when we are at some kind of an event and someone says, I want my whole pantry to look like that. It looks so pretty. It all lays out well and looks nice. Let me give you a couple of the highlights on our cans. First off, the 6 food groups each have a coordinating color. So you'll notice that grains are orange. On the end, I've got cornmeal over there. Veggies are green. Fruits are kind of a pink-red. Dairy is blue. Meats and beans are purple. And basics are yellow. So the cans are all color-coded to match that. You'll notice on the back of that sheet, it gives you some of the highlights. I'll give them to you as well. The nutrition facts are on the can. If you turn the can sideways, you'll see that the name is written sideways as well. Now, if you're familiar with Shelf Reliance at all, you know that they've done rotating shelves. The idea is the first can in the shelf rolls down and is the first can to come out. So you're rotating your food storage by using their shelves and their storage. This just makes it easier to see right on the side exactly what's in that can because the name's sideways. Freeze dried has this pretty little label, little banner across the top. Most of the cans have a recipe on it. They have a shelf life on there. There's a lot of good information on that can. The thing I love is that the picture's on the front, so I don't even have to read if I don't want. I can see what's inside because there's a picture of that food right on the front. A lot of times people ask, give me an example of what would be in the basics. Butter powder would be in the basics. We have a phenomenal soup. It's a baked potato soup that is, and once again, if you'll refer to your price sheet, you'll see right on there the 6 different food groups, all the foods that we carry, all the different things that we offer. The serving size is right on the front of the can. All of those things are kind of easy to find.